Did you know there's a control structure in Louisiana that's trying to hold back one of the largest watersheds in the world? This is the Old River Control Complex. It's located in Vidalia, and it was built to try to keep the Mississippi River flowing along its current course. First, a little history. So the light blue line is the current flow of the Mississippi River, and all of the other colors are historic flows. Now, for a quick science refresher, water flows downward, and it's going to take the quickest route from the mouth to the biggest body of water, which in this case is the Gulf of Mexico at the bottom. In the 18th century, the Mississippi River flowed like this. It curved and the Red River flowed into it. At this point, the Atchafalaya was so backed up with log jams that it just moved like a slow-moving bayou. In 1831, Captain Henry Shreve, yes, of Shreveport, he took his team and he cut a narrow channel in what's known as Turnbull's Bend. After that, he took his log clearing efforts down to the Atchafalaya. By the early 1950s, the upper part of the Mississippi, that upper old river right there, it began to dry up. Now, the Atchafalaya began to flow much more powerfully because the Red River and the Mississippi River were both flowing into it at this point. So, what does any of this have to do with the Old River Control Complex? Well, the Mississippi River isn't called the Mighty Mississippi for nothing, and it wants to take the quickest route to the Gulf of Mexico, which is now the Atchafalaya, the dark blue line. At this point in the river, which we've been talking about, the Mississippi is about 300 miles from the Gulf, whereas the Atchafalaya is 150 miles. Now, the Atchafalaya can't handle that amount of water without catastrophic flooding and damage, so the government decided to do something about it. In the late 1950s, the Army Corps of Engineers began their work on what is now the Old River Control Complex. The complex is made up of three structures: the low sill structure and overbank structures, which are located here. They're kind of far away, but really not that far in person. And then the auxiliary structure here. There's also the Old River Lock down the road, which maintains transportation and commerce. Now, all of these structures work together to maintain what's called the 70-30 split, meaning 70% of the water in the Mississippi continues its flow down the Mississippi, and 30% is diverted into the Atchafalaya River. Now, just for reference, we're talking three structures built in the late 1900s to handle all of this water. So what happens if this structure fails? We'll dive into that in part two. No pun intended.